Zip red and zip gray are paired together. They travel together, and the vast majority of the time when they either way, spike down or spike up, or for example in a spike down, the zip red is lowest, but a fair amount of time zip gray is lowest, and on the peaks a fair amount of time zip gray is highest. When that happens, it appears to have a stronger reversal reaction. If it's real close together, like if it's a couple hundredths of a point together, the reversal reaction will be stronger. And if the distance between the two, zip red and zip gray, for example, on a spike down, if they're 7, 8, 9 points, if the gray is 7, 8, 9 points lower, then you get a strong reaction up. Now, all that being said, it hinges a significant amount around the supporting evidence that's associated with it. But I've got a few examples that I'm going to show you here on the charts. And the first one is this line right here. And on this line right here, we have the zip red is in basically a 3-day down pattern. And it went from, zip red back here 3 days. Is at 95, and when it's on the vertical line, it's at 20. So it's dropped 75 points in 3 days. And that seems to be one of the keys. It has a significant drop, and as a result, being under zip red, it reacts and goes back up. Now, it's not significant that you can see these two candles here following the vertical pink line, but that next day it had a low of 123.86 and a high of 125.42. So it went up a couple dollars. And for most of us, that's a very nice return on whatever we might be investing. The second one here has a difference in the zip red, red being at 72 and gray being at 62. So the gray is 10 points lower than the red. And also in this case, zip red 2 days ago was at 68, and today it is at 20. So it dropped 48 points. And if it drops 70 points in 1 day, that's even better. And when you get those steep spikes with the gray being under the red, the reversal reaction next day up is reasonably strong. Obviously there are other conditions to the situation. I mean, look at this one right here in the middle. It told us that it was going to go up next day, but if you made the mistake and bought it as though it was a gap, it would have taken you 5 or 6 days before you broke even. So we always want to, and also, by the way, this opened at 111.90 and low was 111.90, so it was a flat bottom green candle. When it opened up, everybody wanted it to go up and bought it accordingly. Now, the other thing, there are contributing factors to everything. When we had this vertical line, we had a swing gray line that had reached its peak and was coming down for over a week and a half, it looks like. So all the yellow, the pink, and the blue in the swing chart, or the Zion in the swing chart, were all underneath the zero and the wide lines, the short-term trend lines, swing green and swing red. So from that perspective, we can kind of see where we're coming from when we see a zip gray under a zip red. I have one more here, and on this example, we have a zip red at 23 and a zip gray at 22. So it's about a point underneath this particular move is, and the indicate, and obviously in all of these, I think they were all of them, we had a red spike which says, hey, we're going to go up the next day. In this example here, we got Zip Zion that is going up as we speak, and you can say, well, Zip Green was going down, but Zip Zion is the grandfather, and so I would put more influence on the following day to go with the Zip Zion direction. Now, in this, they don't all work this way. This is one of those indicators that is highly dependent on supporting conditions. And so you look around, you see what's happening, you've spotted the gray underneath the red. It helps tremendously. I wanted to point out also, your zip red was at 98 2 days ago, and down here it is at 23. So that dropped 75 points in 2 days. And again, that's one of the things that we've found, that when you have those strong drops, we love to see it in 1 day. It's great if it's in 2 days. Occasionally it'll be in 3 days. But when you have that 3-day drop with gray, zip gray under red, it usually goes up. And believe me, it's a great, you have a commanding advantage over other traders in the market when you know or suspect with high probability that it's going to go in a specific direction next day. In this case, a upward movement. And you can trade accordingly. You can see that green candle. You can, like on this next day after this one, this green candle opened at 116.18, had a low of 116.05. So it dropped 13 cents before it rose to a high of 118.56. The power of knowing, of having high probability moves, I don't know how to express that in words, because there's so many people that trade without good indicators, without systems, with no formulas, and they'll just buy into something thinking it's going to go up, and then when they think they see the top, they'll get out. And that's not the way to trade. Day Trading Visual Basics is a fantastic system. This is just a minor rabbit trail that has a significant amount of relative power in recognizing what's going to happen the next day. And there are dozens and dozens of them in this system. I hope you enjoy it. I'm glad you're listening to, or at least seeing this video. I encourage you to do that. I really encourage you to get involved with Day Trading Visual Basics, because once you see the difference between your system that you're currently using and how this one works, some would say it'll blow your mind, others would say amazing. We just know that I just knew that after these sensitive indicators were built, I could recognize the power, I could see the changes, I could identify the changes before they happened, but I couldn't figure out why I couldn't be consistent. And it wasn't until I put the formula together, the power formula of having the patterns with conditions, that gave us the high probability trades and even gave us more capability to profit on our positions with the signals to identify the entrance and exits of these trades. Until we had that system, that's when it all fell together, because we recognized before, and I knew before, that I wanted to have a procedures power. I wanted to have the ability to look at 10 indicators, see what 2 of them might do. I've used this example before. 2 of them have strong green candles, and 4, 5, 6 of them have little green candles. A couple might go down. Well, what conditions are there that make those 2 green ones go up? And we pick those conditions, we describe those in the videos, we tell you what the conditions are. And if you buy those conditions, your high probability rate is 98, 99%, or it's abnormally high. And it truly is amazing.